of Bronny James being drafted. LeBron James has carried the NBA for 20 years. He didn't have a long playoff run this year. Did you see the NBA ratings? As every other sport, WNBA, Copa, Euros, college football, up. NBA ratings, tank. No LeBron. Isn't it kind of an understanding in America? You do me well, I owe you a solid. That's like a given, right? I take you to the airport. You're buying the next dinner. I help you move. I get a little something back. If I carry your sport, get you a new TV contract worth $7 billion, you got a problem with Bronny James getting drafted by the Lakers? It's the weakest NBA draft in maybe ever. It shows how polarizing LeBron James is. And my takeaway is, you're really bothered by it? LeBron James has carried the league for 20 years. He and Steph Curry have carried the league. Neither made a playoff run this year. Ratings went to the tank. No LeBron, no Steph. Yeah, I'm okay in the weakest draft ever, the Lakers going, we'll do you solid. By the way, I think his son's a G League. I think at best he's a low-end rotational player. But this draft was horrible. By the way, how many sons who aren't qualified or at minimum aren't the best candidate end up on their father's staff in the NFL or college? Nobody gets too worked up over that. I'm not losing sleep over it, and nor should you. Welcome back on a Monday. Colin right, Colin wrong, 40 minutes from now. So Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones' son, helps run the Cowboys, was on the Scoop City podcast, and he's talking about something that we've discussed for about 6 months to a year. The NFL used to play 14 games. Then they went to 16 games. Then they added a game. They're going to go to 18 games. That'll probably be the cap on it. Over the course of 46 years, they went from 14 to 17. Everybody was fine. The league got better. The quality got better. So they're going to move to 18 games. And Stephen Jones says, it's pretty much inevitable.
I'm on the competition committee. We've talked about this, knowing that it's probably inevitable. The players, enjoy the compensation that's coming their way, and they get, for the most part, half of every revenue dollar that comes through the door. We all know when we go to 18 games, the revenue is going to jump, and certainly should only help in terms of the money available to pay players and, get players the compensation.
So players adjust. I watched the political landscape this weekend. I watch everybody freak out and make claims. People adjust. A few years ago, in a more sensitive, wokier world, there were these cries that Thursday night football was so terrible for the players. It was outrageous. If you watch the Netflix series called Receivers, San Francisco's George Kittle says players love Thursday night games because they get the weekend off to actually hang with their families during the NFL season. Players adjust. The league is safer. The concussion protocols have been tightened. The NFL's eliminating kickoffs, the most dangerous play. There's less practice time. There's less hitting. The medical staffs are light years better than 25 years ago, and the rules, frankly, just make it safer. There's less hitting. If you go to Super Bowls, the Super Bowl this last year, San Francisco was missing one starter due to injury, a safety. And then a linebacker got hurt during the game, but it was non-contact. He just hurt himself running on the field. And I'm not sure Kansas City was missing any starters. The league is safer. Nobody wants to admit it. And players now make so much money that a single game check for a Christian McCaffrey, a Mahomes, a Lamar, a Josh Allen, a star receiver, a star edge rusher can be over $1 million for 48 snaps. Yeah, players adjust. They'll take the money. Even in college football, it used to be you played like 11 games total. Now it feels like with the playoff, there'll be 13, 14 games. And NIL, they're getting paid. Also, I don't see a lot of college football players' amazing careers in jeopardy or end due to an injury. Guys who were great going into their final college season generally get drafted very high. So in negotiations, you know this if you've ever been in one, owners have things they care about. Players have things they care about. Actually, players in the NFL with the last CBA, they wanted less practice time, fewer padded practices. They went from 28, players went down to 16. Now, I think it's hurt offensive line play, but it probably hasn't hurt as many players. So that was a big deal for players. Some players grumble about the franchise tag, but they've accepted it because the players who sign those usually get paid a lot of money. So, in 46 years, the league made a couple of changes from 14 to 17, and all we see is this insatiable want and need for more football. And it'd be one thing if the employees weren't happy with it, but my guess is the players now with the gambling money being injected, and that's only getting bigger into the NFL, the TV revenue, the new CBAs going forward. NFL players today get paid like NBA players did 10 years ago. The NBA players, because of shoe deals and because it's a more star-driven sport, have always made really, really huge money. But NFL guys now, they do too. And there are some shoe deals with NFL guys. They're all over commercials. Look at Travis Kelce. He's on like 6 national commercials. He's a tight end in the middle of the country, not a coastal elite city. So my take is take a deep breath. Players and employees always adjust. J-Mac with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is...
All right, it is a Monday. NFL season getting close. College football season getting close. Olympics getting very close. Live in Los Angeles, it's The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, thanks for making us part of your day. J-Mac, there was a lot going on from the British Open, WNBA, facing the Olympic team, our men's basketball team, not yours personally, but the LeBron team. There's a lot going on, but this morning there is a story from an NFL camp which looks very juicy.
Yeah.
And I've got to cut right to the chase.
Let's get to it.
Okay, so Jordan Love, Green Bay Packer quarterback, told the team Saturday, I'm not practicing. I want a new contract. Now, this isn't Brandon Ayuk and the Niners. Green Bay wants to get it done. Jordan Love wants to get it done. But sometimes employees, yes, have to play hardball with the employers. And I'm going to side with Jordan Love here. First of all, he signed a very team-friendly deal before last season. And he should have. He wasn't proven. And he blew through it. He was fantastic. And you could say, well, I mean, he still has a year left. So Jordan Love didn't just eclipse the contract. Through weeks 10 through 18, 8 NFL weeks, with the youngest offense in the league, in the better than it has been in years NFC, he had the most passing yards and the most total touchdowns. He was better than Allen, Lamar, Mahomes, Stafford. He was better than everybody in the league. And that's with a bunch of kids. He didn't have a dominant number one receiver. Even the offensive line is young. Young team. Went to Dallas, blew out the Cowboys. And there's something else here. Is that there is also a responsibility by an organization to make evaluations of a player beyond just games. You and I watch games. We can tell who can play and who can't. But he was in the building 3 years before last year. You can make judgments on his maturity, his leadership, his judgment. Not only had he started 18 games, he'd played in 27 and had over 400 practices. He's 25 years old. 25 years old is different than 21 or 22 years old. 21, 22 years old, you're saying stuff to get you in trouble. You're drinking more than you should. Not necessarily a grown-up. By 25 years old, you screw up, it's up to you now. And NFL front offices, their responsibility is not just watching games. We can all do that. The best NFL scouts, they're going to practices. They're on the phone sometimes with investigators to dig deep on players. What's going on at home? What's going on campus? The Packers have had years and years of watching Jordan Love's